Welcome to Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, presented today by Little Sprouts Learning Garden of Auburndale. Get your half pints and little tykes sorted out after school, daycare, whatever it is. Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook will get you sorted out. And we visit with Bark River Broncos head football coach Caleb Adams. Coach, thanks for the time today. Let's just start with this. How many years you've been coaching football and what keeps you coming back every year?
Yeah, so this is overall my fifth year coaching football. I started out kind of after high school volunteering, and then got hired as a varsity assistant. When I got my teaching degree. After that, I was JV head coach for 1 year, and then it's my second year as the varsity head coach.
All right, we'll talk about the game coming up against Auburndale here in just a bit. First, just recap last year, according to what was given to me, a 500 season last year. Just recap last year and some of the fun you had with the guys.
Yeah, so last year we had a strong group of seniors. We went 5-5. Made the playoffs, lost the first round. Overall, it was a good season. When you're a first year head coach, I was also the first year as my as a principal. So it was a lot to take in, and I definitely made some coaching errors and whatnot. Learned a lot from the last year, and got a good staff coming back with me this year, and we're off to a pretty good start.
And that's part of really anything in life, right? You learn, you make a mistake, you learn, you get better. That applies to you, me, the kids, whoever. That's just a life thing. Auburndale on the other side of you on Friday night, they lost a game in conference. They had a conference opponent leave the conference, and that left an opening for this week. Tell us on your side, what's caused you to travel south of the border for this one?
Yeah, we're the smallest 11-man school in the UP. So we are often, punching above our weight class in terms of, the schools that we play. And, with our conference, we just have a lot of teams that, historically we've played. You look at our historical schedule, I'd say the top 20 teams, out of those top 20 teams, 18 are probably 8-man now. So it's just we've lost a lot of teams to 8-man. And this year we had a team that just wasn't going to be able to field the varsity team. So they have a JV team with mostly freshmen and sophomores. And so that left up an opening in our conference. And, hopefully they're going to have a strong enough showing next year to continue to play 11-man football. But, it's always the paradox that we're in. We're a small school, and yet I have 25 kids that came over for varsity football this year. We've had about 22 each week, and then at the JV level, I have close to 30. So we're kind of an abnormality in that we have a lot of kids that play football.
Broncos football, they love it. There's no doubt about it. For Auburndale and their schedule, they get a win this week. As they work towards the conference wins and playoffs and all that kind of thing. So, obviously everybody's motivation is to win the game. You might assume a team that's already scheduled for a win, they pick up the game. They're going to play a little loose and free. What's the mentality of your guys coming into the Friday night game?
Yeah, for us, this game, counts for our playoff points and things like that. So this is a must-win game for us, honestly. Like we're going to treat it like that. Auburndale is probably one of the better teams that we play on our schedule. We so far we've done checked all the boxes that we need to check. And when I watch some film on them, they do a lot of things well that we struggle with. My first couple games, we've given up 400 yards in the air. So, Auburndale, with the style of offense they run, I think it'd be a good challenge. It gives us an opportunity to work on things that I know we're going to see later on in the season. The opponent we lost to last year was East Jordan, have a very similar offense to Auburndale. So this is something that I saw and thought we needed to iron out as we decide to, hopefully make a run in the playoffs this year.
I mentioned the 500 team you had last year. You start 3-0 this year. What's been the difference? What's been better this year in this first part of the season?
Yeah, I would say, I got a new offensive coordinator. I called the offense last year. The guy I brought back was the old varsity head coach. He's got a lot of experience play calling, and we both looked at our team and saw, we have an opportunity to be special. And so I brought him back into the fold, and he's helped me out tremendously. And we're a big team. We got a lot of big kids. We got a lot of farm fields, and these kids throw hay bales around, and they work at the feed mill. So it's we're big up front, and I think that's been a key to our success.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's my very next thing to talk to you about. By the way, speaking to Bark River Broncos head football coach Caleb Adams, let's talk about your offensive line. Now, no matter the size, a team usually goes as far as their offensive line can take them anyway. But yeah, let's take a look here. Chase comes in at 245, Jack 255, Jake 290, Lucas 230, and Jaden 295. Run the football, right, Coach?
Run the football. Yeah, we got over 1,000 yards rushing in the first 3 games, and we have maybe 200 yards passing. So we know what we do, and we do it pretty well.
End of the first quarter on Friday night. Regardless of what the scoreboard says, how do we know things are going according to your plan on Friday night?
Auburndale's got some explosive backs, right? Their quarterback, good runner. Number 4, number 3, both quality running backs. And you guys they're super aggressive up front. So I think it's maintaining like limiting explosive plays, big runs. Containing the passing game is going to be key to us. Then establishing the line of scrimmage. Auburndale has an extremely aggressive defensive line. They got aggressive linebackers that play up to the ball, and so it'll be interesting. I see a lot of spread teams in that corner of Wisconsin. A lot more throwing. And we're definitely different in that regard of double tight wing T team. Just maintaining that line of scrimmage, and that would be key to our success.
As the weather stands now and is subject to change, as you know, but weather, they say, is the great equalizer. They're calling for rain, sometimes heavy, after kickoff. What does that do to your game plan if that were to happen?
Yeah, well, luckily for me, I run the ball, so I don't have to worry about throwing it. Obviously maintaining handoff integrity and things like that. Getting a clean snap is going to be uh, important to us. But with it's nice being under center. It's always that quarterback center exchange is step number one, and being under center helps that out a lot.
Lastly, Coach, a road game. Just tell us about your mentality of a road game versus one at home.
Yeah, so we haven't had a home game yet. We don't have our first home game till next week. So we've been on the road a lot, and I think it's just getting establishing our pace. Treating it like home. We got about 3.5 hours from Harris to Auburndale. So on a bus, we're gonna get there early. We're gonna relax when we get there. Stop a couple times, stay stretched out, and just maintain our routine.
Coach Caleb Adams, best of luck on Friday.
All right, thank you, Jason.
It's a special 6:30 kickoff. It's Bark River and Auburndale coming up next on Zaleski Sports.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale, we have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other. And social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.